Yeah, I'm just about to break something down. It was a time where black people was in the information age, or you know, and black people ain't really know shit. So black people was happy, like after the civil rights movement, black people start finding out shit. You know what I'm saying, about things that they didn't know. That got us to the point that we are today, where you got the internet, you can read books, you can go to these schools, you can go to these colleges, you can basically do anything, and get a hold of all sorts of type of information. And the thing that's been happening is a lot of even cats go to prison and get, you know, information, or or degrees of understanding. But what didn't happen is black people done got drunk off information, like that's everything. First of all, the information put out, you know, is published, by the Europeans. So of course they overlook what you putting out, and a lot of history been whitewashed and it's been watered down. You know, so you got a lot of black people with different kinds of information, and usually information or books are biased, meaning that the person who's writing the book or putting out the information is trying to persuade you to think like them instead of just persuading you to think. That's what I do. I try to persuade people to actually think, you know, or I put out a good reason for you to think this way, or get this understanding, or so you can understand it, because the understanding has to make sense, or you can't understand it. Do the math, figure it out, it's all the same. So you got people putting out biased information, so you can just see from their point of view, and they're not weighing it against anything. When I put out understanding, it's weighed against what you already know. And like I said, a lot of people have done a lot of research or been through a lot of experiences till they understand what makes the most sense at that point. So, like I said, people are getting drunk off this information, and we are no longer in the information age. We're in the age of intelligence. Now, it's only going to be a few people who can graduate from the information age. The information age are the people who still love to read books, the educated people, the people who, live through these historical perceptions and perspectives, what our ancestors did, and they're comfortable with what our ancestors did, and we no longer live in those conditions, which were, king, where we had kingdoms and empires, and we're living civilized. So these people are, reading these books, and they're set that, okay, they're fine with the situation that we have in America, or just black people's future, which is basically very vague, if there's anyone, even a future for black people. So these people are happy with what happened in the past, and they basically can die with that. They still talking about Martin Luther King, what he did, instead of superseding what he did, or anybody other past, because records are made to be broken. So at the end of the day, if they set that record straight, it's supposed to be somebody who comes after that, who builds who either takes that down and brings a new message or builds upon that even greater. But with black people, that's why I tell even the Hebrew Israelites, if Christ would have came, they would kill him, because he would come with a new perspective that they didn't understand at that point in time, just like he did. Or that he would tear down what was old and build new. And black people don't like to move forward. They like to dwell in the past and dwell in the present instead of looking forward to the future where new things come and are built. You know what I'm saying? Established. So these people love to go back in the past and bring up these old people and live off their legacies instead of creating new ones. Or if they creating a new legacy, it's only based off what that old person did. Or, they're trying to recreate the past, which is they trying to be that person to the present, and not actually build upon what that person did or more. They're just trying to recreate who Abraham was or who King David was, or they just bringing up that instead of creating their own legacy and writing their own book, they still walking in these shadows. So, just like kingdoms fall and kingdoms get built. It's not exactly the same. Maybe the structure is the same, but it was always people in the past that set records or set a record straight. And these people nowadays are still set in the ways of the old, which has not progressed black people. No matter how many books these niggas done read or how many schools these niggas done went to, they still can't come to a conclusion and grasp the concept of how to overcome the situation. But they're talking about they're intelligent, which they're not, because intelligent people come up with solutions, okay, by observation. That's why in school they tell you to make a hypothesis. And then you go ahead and do the experiment, and then you come with the conclusion based on the experiments, okay, that were performed. So these niggas are redoing old experiments expecting new results, which is not going to happen because that's insanity. Insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different result. So these niggas gonna continue to march. They gonna continue to read these same books. They gonna continue to do this same stuff, bring up these old characters that been dead and gone, and they lived out their prophecy on who they were supposed to be and what they were supposed to bring forth that was new, not old. But black people don't like to move on past and start new. That's why black people are haters for the most part, because when somebody a trendsetter, they can't stand them because they not dwelling on the old, they creating something new. You know what I'm saying? They doing things differently. They're not trying to be like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said these niggas would kill the Messiah if he came back, because he would bring something new to the table. He wouldn't be talking about that old stuff you niggas is still talking about, that's old and done away with. You know what I'm saying? Just like he came and brought new understandings to what needs to be done. He built off of it. You know what I'm saying? He made it stiffer, or he did something to tell them, look, use more common sense with this. Don't just, you know what I'm saying? So don't just stick. And this niggas lying, talking about they keeping the law when it's so much stuff in that law that y'all not keeping, that you niggas is liars. You know what I'm saying? So Like I said, we in the age of intelligence, and everybody not about to graduate from the information age. These niggas still gonna be talking about the same stuff, bringing up the same information or precepts of the old. Some of them are relevant still, but everything from the past is not relevant today. It's not. Some of the stuff need to be done away with because it's in the past for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Things of new come about, new circumstances, new variables. Variables are how you judge a matter. You know what I'm saying? You don't just say, okay, well, he stole, cut his hand off. No, why did you steal? Is the reason why we gonna cut your hand off. Oh, you had $1 million and you still stole, we need to cut your hand off. Oh, you ain't had no food to eat. Okay, I see why you stole. Using reason and logic, what these niggas don't do is reason why they still in the condition that they're in because they basing things off of black and white, which at the end of the day, there's always variables that are gonna dictate the 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 judgment or for you to discern the consequences or the understanding of the matter. So, like I said, we got niggas who still stuck in the past, you know, and that's just niggas, you know what I'm saying? The real people by they able to evolve and change and come into new growths and understandings of things and not just dwell on the old, and they're able to reason and move forward. So that's not everybody ain't gonna be able to move forward. These niggas gonna stay in the past, and that's just what it is. And I'm not really concerned about them. I talk to people all the time. I see how outdated these niggas is. You know what I'm saying? They just outdated. They can't keep up because they still. It's just like old people trying to judge the past, judge the future by what they dealt with. We don't deal with the same thing, so you can't tell me what you talking about is relevant for this time because you're outdated. We're dealing with, just like when my kids get older, the stuff I'm talking about, a lot of it's gonna be outdated based on they not even gonna be having the same instruments. Just like now kids is introduced to iPhones or smartphones. You didn't grow up on a smartphone, so they gonna be on some old another stuff. So you ain't gonna be able to relate to when them kids turn 20, 27 if they 3 years old now. You know how different everything is gonna be, and you still trying to use old judgments to discern where things need to go. You niggas sound stupid, man. But that's it, you know what I'm saying? I like to drop quick stuff and I'm out. We in the age of intelligence, and the thing is, the intelligent people gonna lead it, and you niggas in the information age, you niggas either gonna die out, or you niggas gonna take a spot and play your role, cause the niggas who thinkers is gonna be able to make the choices, and lead the pack, the alpha males. So